the worst nuclear disaster, which got its name the Chernobyl disaster, has changed the trajectory of our civilization's development. It is the most evident contribution of Ukraine into global history. Its place, the Chernobyl zone, with the nuclear power plant NPP, which doesn't produce energy anymore. The abandoned ghost town of Pripyat, like a time machine, lets you see the events of the past and realize how both history and nature works. Is it safe to visit Chernobyl? Let's figure it out.
We are here. Actually, we are 30 kilometers from Pripyat, right?
Pripyat, yes.
Yeah, it's a city with that nuclear factory. It's called Chernobyl. I know everyone of us knows that, right? And what brings you here?
Well, I'm not here because of the Netflix. You know, this is a recent hit.
No?
Because, I never watched of this series because I didn't have time to do so. I was going to do so, but I didn't have time. And what brings me here because this is actually my trip to Russia, and I must visit Ukraine with my combination of the tour with Russia.
Oh, okay.
And of course, once you are in Kyiv, it's so worth to pay a visit in Chernobyl because you cannot find any other dark spot anywhere in the world.
No.
So
right.
because I want to just try something more different and just maximize my personal experience, so it brings me here.
What kind of expectations do you have on this? What do you...
Expecting the unexpected.
Ah, nice
Yes,
answer.
because as I just told you guys before, this post-radiation spot is nowhere in the world. So just to see that sediment and just have the sentimental touch.
You're so right in that because it's such a unique place,
Yes,
and it's
and
also
you can
very.
see how I feel right now.
Oh yeah.
You seem quite excited.
I am.
I'm like, waiting for, right?
Of course I do. Everybody does so. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
So I'm visiting with a friend. He's super fan of Chernobyl series.
From HBO.
HBO.
It's a nice series.
And,
I've seen it. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, we were here in Ukraine and we took the chance to visit. And we say, why not? It's a different thing to do.
What's your expectation? What do you expect?
So I think be able to understand the scale of the disaster, try to find some memories of what happened and what happened there, and try to understand what nuclear disaster means in terms of the impacts on the ecology, on the environment.
Are you feel afraid of that or no?
A little bit.
A little bit.
It's a bit scary, and also during the series.
As I told to my mom, since tourists come here, it's okay,
I
feel
didn't say my mom. I didn't
you
say my mom.
You haven't done that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I said I went to Ukraine, but I didn't tell that I was going to
she might be afraid.
You wait until you come back home.
Yeah, I will tell in the future.
I hope you're gonna enjoy it, and it's not to find joy in a city like that, but to see how it was, and for me it's like a capsule to the past, because I think that everything has stopped then.
And it's an important story also to remember and tell and retell. Yeah, so it's good.
When you remember something, you take care of not happening again the same. So that's really cool.
Maybe some understandings to what's going on at present time.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, Mom. Hello, Dad.
Hello, girlfriends.
Hello, guys. Well, today is a really different day compared to all the days that we passed the last month. We are in Chernobyl.
A very unique place,
Yeah.
as many of you, of course, know.
It's contradicted a mix of feelings that, you know, you're happy that to be here, but at the same time you're afraid, you're sad, and
it feels a bit unexpected. You don't really know how you will feel, although you know a lot about what happened.
well, we have to introduce you our new guide for this day. She's Natasha, yeah, and she's gonna guide us to the region around Chernobyl and the factory and everything. She's gonna give us information about what happened, why that happened, where we can stand, where we cannot, and for sure to make us feel safe and
Yeah,
right?
keep us safe.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natasha.
For being with us. And yeah, as you can see, we see quite nervous. I might feel it.
You feel that you're a bit nervous, yeah. But I mean, I think people that come here, some people feel that. Maybe I will feel that later on when it's more like becoming real, I think. Like now it's like we're tasting it, and we'll see, but for sure we're safe.
So behind us you can see the main label of the city. Chernobyl is written Chernobyl in Ukraine language. And yeah, no, that's we are taking them.
We want you to be part of us.
I want to be all the time hugging you, you know, like I feel safe. So guys, take a deep breath and follow us in our new exploration. Okay? Let's go.
Let's go.
The Chernobyl meltdown and explosion is by far the worst nuclear disaster the world has ever seen. Even after more than 30 years, this tragedy is in the spotlight, and the recent triumphal premiere of HBO's miniseries Chernobyl has excited the whole world again and sparked a new surge of interest in the accident and in the place where it occurred.
Might be described as quite different day, as we said in the beginning. Behind us, you can see the from the 6 reactors that been that
were
time.
used.
Yeah. The 2 of them was under construction, so they stopped it like they were. And behind us, you can see the 4 reactors, right?
Yeah. So there were 6 in total. 2 were under construction, and 4 were in use.
Yeah. You can see behind us that there are 3 circle reactors, and the one that is covered with that white cube, in a way, is the one that was exploded, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
And we have to say that what gave us an impression of awe was that the 2 that was under construction, nothing has been changed from then. You can still see the tools that they've been using during the construction.
Yeah. That's still exactly. It's like.
It's the first time that actually I don't have nothing to say, just to feel and to see, you know.
And
so
we can't ignore the sound of our dosimeter as well. That tells us that the
limit for Ukraine is exceeded and territory may be considered as contaminated. And it is, because we are at the industrial site of the power plant.
Yes.
But still, these levels of radiation are not that bad. They are much lower than levels of radiation on board of plane.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
But
so
it's still, that sounds makes you more...
Maybe more nervous, but you can think that in my ordinary life I'm so exposed to...
Reminder for us. Not to forget that this is not the usual place.
No.
So we're gonna be able to go closer to the reactors.
We will. We'll drive around the reactors, and our next stop is going to be on the other side of the confinement, much closer to it, much closer to the epicenter of the disaster.
Great, okay.
So we'll see more of it.
Let's go. Definitely. There it's over here in between the palms, you see. So guys, behind us we have the new safe confinement, the contemporary shelter which covers the destroyed reactor number 4 and the old shelter called sarcophagus built in 1986. This shelter is going to protect the ruined reactor and the rest of the planet from all that huge amount of radioactive materials that appeared as a result of the meltdown for the next 100 years.
100 years?
100
so
years,
after that it has to be
a new shelter.
Most probably either something new, or it will be necessary to discover the technology that will teach us how to make those materials less radioactive. Today, the confinement is about to be sealed. As soon as it's sealed, the old shelter there is going to be disassembled under it, and the facility will be gradually transformed into the long-term storage for highly radioactive wastes. Today, it's considered to be the biggest man-made movable construction in the world, that thing. The biggest man-made movable construction in the world.
Really?
Yeah, they were building it over there for 4 years. Then from there, on 2 rail tracks, with the help of more than 200 hydraulic jacks, they slowly slid it over the old shelter and the ruined reactor.
So, let's make it clear. When the radiator explodes, then they first put some stuff on it,
Yeah,
right?
in 1986, they built the first cover.
Yeah, and the next cover was...
Completed in 2016, this one.
Oh, so you need close to 30 years to complete.
The old one worked for 30 years, and this one, the new one, is going to work for 100 years.
100 years,
And
yes.
behind us we can see the monument for people who died because of that, right?
No, it's dedicated to those people that participated in construction of that first shelter and its maintenance, because that thing really stopped the release of radiation into the environment. So that's kind of thanks to them for that.
Good. It's
Very
nice that, yeah, they have a monument, yeah.
For them as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
That happened 2 kilometers from the young town of Pripyat in the Kiev region. It radically changed every person's perception of the environment, science, and new technologies.
Well, we're in front of a block of flats, and we're thinking of getting inside and see how it really looked, to see all that abandoned houses. Are you ready? It might be hard.
Yeah. I think it already is hard, but yeah.
Let's go.
Since we are here.
Well, the atmosphere has to be said that's quite heavy, and we're in an apartment. As we've said, this block of flat was a luxury one compared to all the houses the way all other houses at that period of time look like. And
Because they had to attract people to come here,
To come
because
here,
the
yeah.
whole is based on the power plant. They wanted people to come and live here, and
we were wondering why so many things are missing, but actually we saw some videos before and said that the government wanted to put out things that might thieves come and pick up, and because they didn't want to transfer the nuclear energy. So that's the reason the apartments are totally you can see only really heavy furniture that cannot be moved. All the other stuff have been moved away and destroyed in order not to avoid the nuclear energy to be transferred.
But here we have big, some furnitures that are
big.
maybe big enough to move.
Yeah.
Here's a children's bed, for example.
Yeah. It's strange.
Numerous houses, a shop, and a library stand vacant in the village of northern Ukraine. Despite the dangers, several people returned to their homes shortly after the disaster and still live here.
Well, we are in an abandoned city. Its name is
Pripyat.
Pripyat. It's the closest city to Chernobyl.
Power plant.
Power plant, yeah. And for all who have seen the TV series from HBO, it's the city that was so next to the nuclear catastrophe, and the bridge, we just passed through the bridge that people staring at the catastrophe that night, and it's called the Death.
Bridge of Death.
Yeah, for sure. And as we said before, the three of us, that city is so abandoned but no one can act here or can live, nothing, but only nature, right?
That's true.
And you still see the trace of a city. That's why it becomes more, I mean, it feels more, how shall I explain it?
Eerie?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you can sense that, yeah.
For me, it's like you're in an original setup movie. You know what I mean? That it's so well, it's so real, everything that you can see and feel, that you say that, no, it cannot be abandoned. It's just a setup for a movie. Yeah. And we're in front of the main entrance of the swimming pool. It used to be the biggest swimming pool in the city for women, right? No, not for women. The biggest for everyone. It's for everyone. I thought that's...
No,
sorry, it's my fault.
The biggest in the city.
Great, so...
The swimming pool, La Surni, was used by local workers and the liquidators because, as a consequence, this place was the most clean in terms of radioactive background. Now, La Surni is completely abandoned.
I think that for both of us it's really difficult to express our feelings here. I think it's really sad, you know, when you get into places like that, you realize that what happened actually then, since buildings like these or ordinary buildings like this swimming pool has to be abandoned, and actually whole city.
I feel that my pulse is a bit up. I think because the swimming pool reminds me of something back home, because I've been practicing swimming, and then, as you said, it becomes more real, that this was actually a place where people lived and have ordinary lives, and what they had to do and experience is still quite unbelievable, but here you sense that there were actually people here. I mean, yeah.
It's more, for me it works more like a shock, even when we're to the radiator, to the...
Power plant?
Yeah, that was exploded.
Covered,
yeah. And it was just iron covered another place that you don't have any feeling there.
No,
Here's
it was more
feeling,
surreal
right?
at the part, because we know what happened, but when we were watching the power plant, it's still a bit surreal. But when you hear, you sense the spirit maybe of this city or something like that. It has been something here.
You know, you still smell that life occurred here, and it's really sad. And you know, it's not because of a rain or of another problem with the climate change. It has to be with a problem that people do to themselves, a kind of. And the energy here is quite thrilling. I don't know if we could transfer that to you through the videos, but Trust Us is the first episode, but it's a kind of different things that we experience.
And even the jump towers, and we have a watch there. I mean, yeah.
Everything's like stuck in the past, and nothing can be changed and won't change. The only you can see a dog there. He's the owner of the he's the owner of the swimming pool now. So keep silence and
the park opening was scheduled for May 1st, 1986, but it has never welcomed its guests because of the disaster that occurred on April 26th, 1986. Half-ruined swings and roundabouts and abandoned alleys sharply emphasize the contrast between past and present.
Well, guys, as Natasha told us, the city wasn't so old. It was only 16 years old.
From the 70s.
Yeah, when it was built. And we are in the Luna Park of the city.
Amusement park, in front of the amusement park.
And actually, this was a present from the Soviet government to the city that for the residents of the city, right?
Yeah, Pripyat.
And
residents.
actually, they didn't manage to open it, to make the ceremony for the opening. It was they were about to open 1st of May.
Yeah, because it's a big holiday, or big celebration day for the Soviet Union.
And actually, 5 days ago,
Before.
5 days before.
Yeah, so it never opened.
so it's a ghost Luna Park.
Yeah, that's true.
But we're in a ghost city, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit scary also. I mean, Ferris wheels are. I mean, even when you are in an amusement park at night
Yeah.
and it's empty, it feels a bit like, oh,
Weird.
it's a bit
Yeah.
spooky. And imagine this one we're here in front of that's never used.
Today, the Ferris wheel is one of the most iconic places in Chernobyl.
Ah, this one. Everyone took pictures of that.
Yeah.
That's if you Google the topic of Chernobyl accident, Chernobyl exclusion zone.
you can
that's
see
going
that.
to be
With
among
the
the first
Ferris
pictures.
wheel,
Yeah, today
yeah.
the Ferris wheel is considered
And not the
to be-
swimming pool, no, it's here.
They are kind of both.
Okay.
What were you going to say? Today is considered
The Ferris wheel today is considered to be the symbol of broken hopes of Pripyat residents because they really had here the dream life, and then at some certain moment,
it was just taken away from them. Yeah, it's very sad.
Imagine yourself being in a totally brand new city for 16 years. And that, it's sad, yeah, really sad.
Yeah, and I mean, just in every life, when something is just taken away from you like this, I mean, people are fleeing, not nuclear accidents, but other things, and that's the same. Yeah, it's horrible.
Okay, move on. We are in the main square of Pripyat.
Pripyat, yes.
Yes. It's actually behind us. You can see a
Former hotel.
hotel, and there used to be the main hall, the town hall of the city.
And behind this hotel, we have the governmental building.
Yeah. So it's quite weird to be in a totally abound square and see so many big buildings and
So many important buildings. probably,
for the
that-
city. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was a nice exploration here, quite heavy in a way and hard. So,
What did you find the hardest?
for me, the most shocking place was the swimming pool.
Yeah,
Because
same for me.
it was like it was quite big, and it was the first time that I've been in such an abandoned building and see that they used to.
Something we could relate to, maybe. Like, I felt like that I could really see the lives that were taking place in that swimming pool, and that made me kind of, yeah.
But even to the houses that we've been, it was quite hard too.
Of course, but the swimming pool I thought was
It's-
really,
yeah,
really
I
tough
agree,
experience for me at least. But all of course, when we were going around here, when we went to the amusement park, and yeah.
Okay, guys. So let's continue to our next destination.
Mm.
Well, guys, thanks to Natasha, we are here. Actually, it was a secret radar. As you can see behind us, it's so huge. You maybe see it in another frame, because can you see how high compared to the height of the
This
radar?
radar is super huge.
Yeah, and in the combination with that sand, it's like so, like you're in the moon, you know, so no,
It feels like space.
yeah. And could you tell us, please, a few stuff about that radar or some info that you want to share with our friends?
top secret Soviet military raider that had to become a part of Soviet defense against the attacks that could have been conducted from the territory of the United States of America. But it never worked properly because the technology was brand new and unknown, not only to the Soviet Union but to the rest of the world. Even though they were doing their best to make this thing working, it never did. And then after the accident, they turned it off. The reason why they were not giving up on this radar for quite a while, the radar stopped operating in 1986, but official decision about its shutting down had been made by the Soviet government in 1988.
88, right?
Yeah, and since 1988 the military base is guarded, and it's guarded till present times. The place was open for visitors of Chernobyl exclusion zone just since 2013, so
it's
basically
brand new,
pretty
yeah.
recent. Yeah.
And could you please tell us that they regard it as a campsite, you know?
Summer
It
camp.
was a
That
summer camp.
they covered it up.
The military base was top secret, and Soviet government did their best to hide this place from foreign spies, and to mislead those spies, they marked the military base on the maps of the country as inactive summer camp for kids.
Even for the locals, it was a summer camp or
Yeah,
not?
for everyone.
Okay.
No, for
For
everyone.
everyone.
No one had access to this place except for high military officials, and no one knew about the military base except for high military officials. Both Soviet residents.
So what a kind of
people,
propaganda,
and
you know,
anyone else.
propaganda, you know, to live to the village next to the summer camp and to regard it as a summer camp and not as a rather place, you know, huge.
People couldn't understand what's in reality here because the military base is placed in the middle of the thick forest. The area within a few kilometer radius around that was patrolled and guarded, so locals also didn't have any access over
came here, no.
And as we were discussing, even though some people from various spots who have seen the radar, a lot of them were understanding that it's better to keep quiet if people wanted to live their life
Soviet
in peace.
Union.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And stuff. That's how it worked over here.
So, let's sum up. It was a different day for us, I think, thanks to Natasha and to the
Yeah,
location.
thank you very much
Yeah.
for your guidance.
I would say that it had really strong and a kind of heavy emotions, you know, exploring and wandering around the region of the city of Chernobyl, the other city that's Pripyat, and the village. And I could say that for sure you have to be here and to see,
to
to
understand.
feel the history, right?
Yeah, of course. I totally agree in everything you say because I feel the same. Like, we knew about what happened here, but actually to be here and wandering around where people have experienced and lived their lives that they had to abandon, it's a very special experience for us as visitors, and also makes us somehow understand it in a different way than just by reading it.
You are more, we acquire a kind of empathy, you know, like, I've been here, I touched things, etc. So, guys, thank you for watching us for one more time. Natasha, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much.
Keep on with our next episode. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.